Welcome to another episode on our channel. We're going to be talking about China today and their role in World War II. Then we'll move on to another episode with Japan, then move on to the Americans, the United States. I do want to then backtrack a bit because I'm waiting for some clothing for another United Kingdom soldier. So we'll have covered 3 United Kingdom soldiers, and I intend to cover 3 American United States figures, but today it's all about China. And I guess what's interesting to me, and we'll talk about it in a bit, is people start in interesting places and end up in vastly different places. For example, Stalin was socialist at one time. He was a journalist, of all things. I'm trying to think who else. Hitler. He wanted to be an artist. He was rejected from the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Eventually sold paintings door to door. He was very poor, served in World War I, eventually got involved in politics. So Stalin, formerly a journalist, Hitler, formerly an artist. Just interesting. And we'll talk about someone else who came from a position you wouldn't think would have led into the military domain. But anyway, before we do any of that, we do want to put him on a turn tray and get some close-ups from his feet all the way up to the top of his head, do some side-to-side shots. Actually, we'll go all around him, and because he has things in the back, and then we'll do some close-ups of his head sculpt. We'll be right back. So here is our Chinese soldier. You can see the black boots. He has a very light green, almost a yellowish green uniform on. As we go up, we'll see more of the uniform. And the background is a ZB-26 light machine gun, Zulu Bravo 26 light machine gun, which was created by Czechoslovakia. I think it was kind of used as inspiration for the British Bren machine gun. The ammo pouches are there. He's holding his gas mask. You can see the pouch on his left, which would have held food. More of the ZB-26 on his back. And then the rest of his uniform as well as his head sculpt. So we'll pause now and get some side-to-side shots. I said we were going to go side to side, but I think we'll go all the way around. You can see he's holding his cap here. I forgot to mention that. Gas mask up here. The ammo pouches are very visible now. As we turn, you can start to see his bread bag or his food pouch, his canteen. And then you can start to see his mess kit, his backpack, his bedding. And that's the Bravo or Zulu Bravo 26, ZB-26 light machine gun. You can see the handle here that can pull out. Yeah, he's well supplied here in terms of accessories. So we'll pause and get a close-up of his head. So we'll do side-to-side shots here. It's a pretty good head sculpt. I'm trying to remember who made it many times. Actually, I'm not sure. It might be Dragon and Dreams or Many Times. But it's a pretty darn good head sculpt. We are back, and it's a very complicated history with China. So before World War II, China was involved with very heavy infighting between the Nationalist Party, the Kuomintang Party, and the Chinese Communist Party, which was led by Mao Zhejiang. The Nationalist Party was led by Chiang Kai-shek. So they fought heavy over an extended period of time, and eventually Chiang Kai-shek had surrounded the communists with 700,000 troops. And it was pretty much, the Communist Party was pretty much going to lose. They actually fled with 100,000 troops, trying to stay a step ahead of Chiang Kai-shek, but through attrition ended up pulling up in some caves with only 7,000 to 8,000 men. But somehow Mao was able to recruit other individuals into his military, probably peasants and farmers and so forth, and was able to kind of regroup. But about that time, Japan was watching everything very closely and saw all the infighting taking place and thought it would be a good time to expand their territory. So there was the Marco Polo Bridge incident, where Japan was doing military maneuvers near Beijing, and a Japanese soldier went missing. They asked the nearby village if they could search it. The Chinese said no, shots were fired, and basically the Second Sino-Japanese War erupted, which then led into World War II. And eventually China would be on the Allied side and would win in terms of World War II. But in 1949, the Communist Party would defeat the Nationalist Party. So this soldier represents a nationalist soldier. So a lot of interesting history. I think the most interesting thing is that Chiang Kai-shek was a merchant, but Mao Zedong, before any of this military stuff started, he was an assistant librarian. And then you think back to Hitler. He was actually an artist and had been denied entry to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. But he was still painting and selling his paintings door to door. He was an artist. And then you look at Stalin. He was socialist before he came to power. And his work before that was a journalist. And Mao was his assistant and assistant librarian. Who'd figure? Anyway, it's all very interesting. But this gentleman represents a nationalist soldier from the 88th Division. We are back, and just to summarize this very crowded deaths, Germany invades Poland. On the western side, the Soviet Union invades Poland on the eastern side. It was too much for Poland. They eventually collapsed. Up rose the Polish resistance movement. When Germany invaded Poland, France declared war on Germany. United Kingdom declared war on Germany. Italy joined on the Axis side, thinking Germany was going to win. France fell shortly thereafter. The French resistance movement rised up in its place. United Kingdom was trying to hold everything together along with the resistance movements in place. China eventually joined on the Allied side. And we'll find out that with Japan, they joined on the Axis side, which then brought in the United States after the bombing of Pearl Harbor on the Allied side. So we're getting there. We're almost done. I need to add one more United Kingdom soldier and talk about Japan, and then talk about the United States. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen thus far. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.